post office was mostly constructed over the course of 1916, and the construction went a little bit into the early part of 1917, but they were mostly finished by the end of 1916. The city of Anoka really needed a larger post office. The city was growing in the early 1900s, and previous postmasters had mainly run the post office out of their homes or their stores, that sort of thing, and those spaces were no longer adequate for the amount of mail that was coming to Anoka and needing to be delivered to people. And so there was a push to build a proper post office building that would just be for that purpose. So it was working as a post office for pretty much exactly 60 years. It started functioning then during 1917, and it closed as the post office in 1977. The last day mail was delivered from that location was October 22nd, 1977. So the historical significance, as far as the National Register is concerned, is largely the architecture. It was built in what's called the Georgian style, which you can see in the types of windows and some of the other decorative elements on the outside of the building. It was designed by James Knox Taylor, who is a well-known architect who worked for both the Post Office and the Treasury Department of the United States. So his design is one of the reasons that it's considered a historic building. The federal government sold it to Counselor Realty, a local realtor. They maintained offices in the building then for quite a long time, and there were other stores and businesses in their coin dealership for a long time, some other retail space. Eventually it was bought by the Abler family, Jim Abler and his wife Barb, who remain the current owners today. They restored it for use as a charter school originally, and then as kind of a Christian ministry center, and then it evolved back into a retail space over time, which is what it serves as today. So it's still retail space right now. Emerald Isle Antiques is one of the main current stores in that building. Yeah, so we have some pipe work from the building. All the information that we have from those dials and from the pipes themselves indicates that they're original to the building, so that they were put in during construction in 1916 and have been there ever since. And Jim took them out in 2016, so it was the 100th anniversary of the building itself. So they had been there and functional for a whole 100 years. And then it was finally time to replace them. But so just as a piece of the building, and because they had been with the building for so long, we chose to keep them in the collection here. So some of the significant architectural features that people would want to look for are the Palladian windows is the term that's used to describe the large windows of the building. There's a fan-shaped window over the main front doors that's important, and it has what are called dentelated cornices. If you look up on the top, kind of right under the roof line, you'll see small squared off. They look a little bit like teeth, hence the dentelated dentist sort of linguistic connection there. So those are the main things that one would look for to see that very stereotypical Georgian style of architecture. It has a lot of interesting history in the town. In addition to just being the post office, there have been all these other uses since it ceased to be the post office. I would highly recommend visiting the post office. It's got some unique history. It served as a shelter for residents of the town whose homes were destroyed during the 1939 tornado that blew through Anoka.
The preceding program was produced by the Anoka County Historical Society and Hennepin Technical College. You can plan a visit to the Anoka County History Center at 2135 3rd Avenue North in downtown Anoka. Help us preserve history. If you would like to donate or become a member of the Anoka County Historical Society, go to anokacountyhistory.org.